Chapter 10, Part 2. The last thing I put as far as resources and tools to help someone recover is not being on mind-altering pharmaceuticals while going through treatment, or being on as little amount as necessary. I had to put in that disclaimer. I'm not completely crazy. I understand that it's an ideal that everybody would come off of all their pharmaceutical medications. I might not even necessarily have brought it up as such a big issue if America wasn't so overmedicated. And, it didn't used to be that way, if you can believe it. In the 90s, it was rare for someone to come in and be on an antidepressant or something like that, or anti-anxiety or some kind of medication. They were usually just drinking themselves to death, or, doing drugs, doing meth, doing cocaine, doing heroin. They typically didn't have these pharmaceuticals. And I remember even the old 12-steppers would say, you don't need that crap. That's a crutch. What are you doing? You just need to deal with your issues, which I would typically agree with them. Now, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't pretend to know everybody's mental health condition. And we certainly screen for that before someone comes into my program. And if someone does have what looks to be a difficult mental illness history, we understand that we are not a fit for that individual, most likely. And so there's a lot of screening on the front end of that. I just believe that America is overmedicated. I believe that we have not really delved into the side effects of these things to the point where we really understand what's being done to the brain when people are taking these things, especially when they're taking a lot of things these days. Someone might come in, they're on 8 meds, 8 different things, more, maybe 12, maybe 14, maybe 16. Can you imagine that? 16 pills that all supposed to do something different, and that the side effects of some pills, you have to take a pill for that to combat the side effects. It just seems like complete insanity to me. I understand trying to alter brain chemistry because somebody is so miserable, they are unable to do something on their own, and they feel like they need a pill or they're going to take their life or something like that. Of course, that is a desperate situation. I would never judge somebody for getting on some type of pharmaceutical for that. I'm not trying to judge anybody for the number of prescriptions they're taking. I'm just saying that America in general is overmedicated, and I think that these medications could be causing them problems much more than they realize. And there hasn't been enough work being done, or enough, motivation or initiative to help people come off these meds. I don't feel like it's very common that you walk into your doctor's office and you tell them how you feel, and they're saying, well, maybe we should get you off all your meds and see how you feel. I don't see that as a very regular occurrence. But I believe that you should try to do that as an ideal. Again, I'm not a doctor, so if it's not safe, it shouldn't be done. But if it's possible to get off of all of these things and reevaluate, let your body reset. You're in a bubble of a rehab program. You are with people that care about you, or you're in a structured environment. As long as the staff is capable of helping you through these things, and you can do it in a way that's slow. Obviously, I'm not saying anybody should quit anything cold turkey or anything like that. I'm just saying that it may be worthwhile to look at giving your body a chance to see if it can heal without all of these chemical interactions being injected into it. And I don't know. That's just my opinion. You can take it for what it's worth. I also am not crazy with this. I'm not a purist. I don't believe that, it's all or nothing. Of course not. I use an example of somebody. When I said, if somebody was in a car accident and they were in a hospital and they were on a feeding tube, it's not the right time to make sure that the food that's going into that feeding tube is organically sourced, right? It's like, you got bigger problems, man. You can do a cleanse and you can detox that non-organic food if that's really what you want. It's all about priorities, right? So if somebody needs certain things just to manage their life, okay, fine. But maybe if they're on 16 pills, maybe you can get them down to 3 or 2. I would imagine that would do a lot more good for their body than if they were on all of those different kinds of things. And I also believe ultimately that the body has a natural tendency to heal, and it heals best when it is not being altered chemically. And I just believe that in my heart. And I think that doing things that are natural, like eating healthy food, drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of sleep, just the basic type things can do a lot of good in people. Not eating a lot of sugar, not in, watching TV all day, every day, getting upset, watching the news. Those kinds of things can do a lot of good to your mental health. Taking walks, getting fresh air, getting out in the sunshine, vitamin D. Those kinds of things can do wonders for people's moods, and they may not realize it. They may not realize that taking a walk in the park every day for an hour can be tremendously, tremendously valuable for their mental health. So anyway, I'm not going to go on a big rant on this. I just think people are over-medicated. I will say this, though. Most rehabs these days will put you on meds. You will go in on heroin, you will come out on 7 pharmaceuticals. And I don't think that rehab is the place where you should get put on meds necessarily. I believe that you should try to reset your body at that point and then evaluate. And look, if you evaluate yourself and you say, look, I can't live without this one med or whatever. Okay, that's fine. No one's going to tell you not to. But I think that you have an opportunity when you are resetting your life to look at everything in your life, everything you put into your body, everything you put into your mind, every action you take. And it's a time to assess all of those different things. So I think when you have a lot of pharmaceuticals being taken, it's difficult to deal with the trauma, the stress, the work that you need to do. And I believe that it masks and covers up things. And that would be my personal recommendation, provided you have medical advice and it's done safely in a safe environment. I believe that would help people heal much better. Personal opinion.